Hello once again and welcome to Vedic Astrology. This analysis and reading will be for the week beginning July 29th to August 4th. I invite you to stay with me to the end so that we can both look at the possible outcomes for this week for you and I. Vedic Astrology offers you readings from the Tarot and from Vedic Astrology, and we also look at the mix of the Vedic and Tarot, which is our core competence, for zedamastrology.com. I invite you to visit my website and learn more. I have so many blogs and so many articles for you to look at that you can learn and understand what this channel is all about. Okay, the Kundali for the week beginning July 29 to August 4th sees that Jupiter is now opposing Venus and Mars in Leo. Now Mars has moved out of the Gandanta zone. He's at 6 degrees Leo, which is beyond the Gandanta zone. So he is now full of passion and ready to fight. And Leo is a fixed fiery sign, so he's going to have a lot of support and enablers to have him take that action or make that action, for him to feel that he's doing something, that he's the commander in chief, that he's in authority, that he has the leadership, and he has the entire army behind his back. Venus is there with him, and he is 15 degrees Leo, so that Venus is not too close, but both of them are being opposed by Jupiter with the seventh aspect. So it's a full aspect. And in this way, Jupiter is the guru of the gods. Venus is the guru of the asuras or the demons. So that opposition is going to create and continue to create a chaos as to which way do I go? How do I act? Where and how do I use this passion from Mars that is telling me to act, that is telling me I have the strength and the power and the position to do what I want, how I want, and when I want. But is it a good thing? Because is it that the Asuras is stronger in your chart, or is it that the Guru, the God, the wisdom, the intelligence, the knowledge from the gods are what you're going to listen to? So this is something that you have to look at this week and understand that the opposition and opposing forces are going to have you in a spin. It's going to have you rethinking and probably holding on to your anger and holding on to your ego, which you should really not be holding on to, and which you should just disregard for a while, or probably it makes you into who you are and what you need to do, so that your chart will show you this. Your chart will tell you what you have to do. Which house, Leo? Is it that you need to take some action with your children? Is it that you need to take some action with your parents or your friends or your neighbors or something in your workplace? you know what is Leo to you in your birth chart? And then we have Mercury with Sun in Cancer. Now Mercury is 9 degrees Cancer and Sun is 13 degrees Cancer. So that conjunction is quite close, so that your speech may not be what it should be this week, because the communication and the illumination from the sun are fighting against each other, and depending on who's stronger in your chart, he will win. So if sun is stronger in your chart, your ego and your leadership qualities will come out. But if Mercury is stronger in your chart, then in this watery sign, Mercury may want to more deal with the emotions of Cancer, because Mercury absorbs the energies of the planet closer to them or within the sign. So that with Mercury here, your speech might be full of egotistical and leadership qualities, maybe managerial. But again, only your chart will tell you this. And we see Venus remaining in Purva Palguni for the entire period of the 29th of July to the 4th of August. Mercury will be shifting to Ashlesha at the end of this week, which is the 3rd and the 4th of August. So Pushya is a planet of renewal, of great things, so that when you go to Ashlesha, you are going into the Sarpas and Nagas, the manipulative part, the secretive part, of Mercury, or the secretive part of speech, that you may have things to say and you don't know how to say it, because Mars here has a lot of passion, and Mars may want you to say things that you do not want to say. So you need to look at that. You need to look at again, continue to look at your actions and your deeds and words for the week of July 29th to August. Okay, let us see what the cards will bring for us this week and how we are going to deal with it. And the first card that we are going to choose for this week, through the messages and intervention of the great God, is the sixth house, the sixth bhava. So we have moved on for ourselves for the last 4 weeks, and we are now going into the service for others. So that surely in the last 4 weeks, when we were thinking about ourselves and doing what we are supposed to do, now we may have the strength to deal with others. And that is what this week upcoming will be all about. The planet that we are going to look at, though, it's Pluto, and this is, as you can see, an obsession with yourself, with the underworld, with uh, power. So that we'll have to look at that closely when we are doing the analysis. The element for this week is going to be water. It's going to be water, so that Cancer, with Sun and Mercury in it, is prominent this week in terms of what we are trying to do and what we may need to do. Let's check out the deity for this week, and let us see who will be trying to guide us and bless us this week to help us through service to others. The sixth house of debts, of enemies, of service to others, of work, daily routine work, and the sixth house could be for you, Cancer, Leo, Saturn, where Saturn is in Capricorn, or where Jupiter is in Aquarius. So request your report to know where the sixth house falls for you. And for this week, we have Skanda. Wow, the god of war. So are we setting up for war with others this week, that we will need the blessings to get us through? Let's see. We're not too sure what is happening here. So we'll find out when we do the analysis of these cards. The chakra that will help us or balance us wants to jump out, wants to help us, but it did not fall upright again, or as usual. So let us see, and there we go. Balance wants to tell us something. So let us see, it just jumped out, and it jumped out upright. So let us put that aside, and we understand that that is the Ajna chakra. So again, it's the second time it's appearing in our reading. So that we need to balance something in our lives. We need to balance something. Is it our speech? Is it our action? Is it our desires? What do we need to balance? So we are looking at the tarot spread now, because we have gotten the energies from the deities and the elements and the bhavas and the planets and the chakra wisdom. So let us see what the tarot spread will put out for us. And again, I'm using the Tetractys, and we are going to look at the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is the first card. The second card is the Eight of Swords. So a lot of intelligence and communication and speech, Mercury. The third card is the Two of Pentacles, grounding, wealth, resources. The fourth card is the Page of Swords. Again, Mercury, air, intelligence. Where is this going? The fifth card is the Five of Swords. Wow. The sixth card is the Queen of Pentacles. Seventh card is the High Priestess, secret, enemies, emotions. Um, oh, the next card is the Devil. What do we have here? The penultimate card is the Hermit. So we have a lot of external influences. And the primary premise of the entire reading is the Ten of Swords. So let us see where this takes us. Let us see what will be happening this week. The element that is underpinning us for the week of July 29 to August 4th is water. And the signs that are watery in the zodiac is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And these watery signs are ruled by Moon, Mars, and Jupiter. Now, Moon is something I don't really speak about in the analysis, except if it's a targeted or a request from client, because Moon moves every 2.5 days. So that Moon and your mental acumen and gymnastics changes quickly, so that you can't really get a hold of Moon. You just have to deal with it day by day. But water and the underlying emotions and mothers and assets is what is going to be underpinning our actions and our thoughts for this week, so that our emotions strong, or is it weak? Do we cry easily? Can we hold it in? What do we do this week, and why do we have to do it? Because the sixth house is coming up, so that let us see where this emotional issue will take us. Balance from the chakra wisdom has shown itself for the second time in the last 4 weeks, and it is clear that we have not yet achieved that balance. Is it a balance between our actions and our emotions? Because fire was the one that was coming up for the first few weeks, and then we had Earth, Prithvi, where we had a kind of a grounding, a kind of a stability, or an attachment to a foundation. But we still have not achieved that balance, because the message here is that we need to balance, and we need to balance ourselves with work life, because the sixth house is now coming into play since it has changed from Bhava 1 for the last 4 readings for July 2021. Skanda is the god of war in the Vedic mythology, and Skanda helps us to preserve our youth. He has strategic thinking in politics and work life, and he gives us the leadership qualities in times of peace. So this week that is coming up, that we are reading for right now, is it a war or is it peace? So what do we need to put forward? Do we need to really sit and pray and get on our knees for Skanda to help us? Or is it that he's going to bring out our leadership qualities because it's a time of peace in our life? You would know, your report will know, your chart will know. Request 1. When Pluto appears in your chart, it shows you that a planet knows what buttons to push. So, do you need control? Do you need to let go? Because this planet of power, or the god of the underworld, is associated with destruction, death, terrorism, obsession. In a chart, you usually have change, upheaval, power struggles, issues of control. So were those your personal issues where Baba 1 was coming up all the time? Is this the culmination of that telling you, hey, you did not achieve that balance? Let go, because change is coming. Destruction is coming. Your obsession may not be what you want it to be, or may not be what you have to carry with you for this week, right? So that Pluto it's a power struggle. It's a power struggle between you and your work, apparently, because this is the sixth house now coming after 4 weeks of Bava 1 showing itself. And we have finally changed from Bhava 1 for these readings. We are now into Bhava 6. But it flows because what we have been doing for the last weeks were all about ourselves and how we treated ourselves in terms of health, in terms of our personality, in terms of our actions. And the sixth house deals with debt, as in loans and owing something to someone, service to others, employability. How do we earn our wealth? How do we amass our resources? It also deals with litigation and legalities and court matters. And it tells us that we have to look after ourselves to deal with others. And we should have been doing that for the last 4 weeks because the messages that came through was all about Bhava 1. Now it is Bhava 6. So we have had time to build up that foundation, build up that wall or that stability that we required about ourselves so that we can deal with the issues of others, of service to others, right? And what is good, our work, our day-to-day work, our routine. So is there some battle that you need to fight at work? Is there some issue that is coming up that you felt that, you know, has been unresolved for a long time? Well, this might just be the week for it to end. This might just be the week that Skanda is there for you to give you that victory, to give you that success in ending. And Pluto is telling you that change is coming. You are going to regenerate. So something is going to change, something is going to end, something is going to be transformed in your work, and you would be the catalyst for it because you have been preparing for this for the last 4 weeks. So your full-time job may come to an end. You may go to a new direction. A new challenge may come to you. You may get a promotion. Who knows? Some issue is going to clear itself in this week for you in terms of your work and how it affects you in your kundali. The entire foundation for this reading for the week of July 29th to August 4th tells you that you have reached the end of your rope. You are ready for that change. You are mentally and physically stressed. You are near the transition point. You have upcoming major psychological transformation. It is the death of a situation, and this aligns itself to Pluto. It aligns itself to that planet that came up in the reading. You know, it's a transition, it's a regeneration. It is time to move on. It is time to say goodbye. The end. That is what this card is telling you, that you have come to that point in your life where the decision has been made by you for you, you know, and the graha of this card is Mercury. The element is air. And where is Mercury? Mercury is with Sun. So that through our speech, we have come to the conclusion, or through somebody else's speech, we have come to the conclusion that this is it for me. I'm done. No more. Let me move on. Stop speaking behind my back. Stop sticking swords in my back. I have felt the pain. I have dealt with it. And I am no longer going to be the person to deal with it or take your nonsense. You know, this is the entire foundation of this. And work. Is it at work we're going to make that change, or is it within ourselves? The Ten of Swords is the foundation for this reading. The Hermit is the dark cosmic forces that are external to us, that wants to tell us what we have to destroy. And we have to destroy hiding. We have to destroy concealment. Because the Hermit is somebody who stays in isolation, who learns but keeps that knowledge to himself. He has the light and the wisdom and the pathways to move forward or outward, but he likes to conceal himself. He likes to share, but it is all through secrecy, all through attainment of isolation, moksha, K2, to take us away from that material resources, because the hermit is all about learning. He's all about knowledge. The lantern that he holds has the Star of Solomon, which is wisdom. So he has that wisdom. In his isolation, he has gained that wisdom. And that wisdom is telling you, hey, you have to destroy some things to move forward. And that is the lesson of the hermit as the dark cosmic force. The devil depicted here is not the dark force. He is actually the light force in your life. And it is not a depiction to be feared, because in the original Rider-Waite depiction of the devil, you see the two naked persons with chains around their necks and their ankles and their arms, but it's not held by the devil. They are there of their own free will, because they do not want to let go of the material resources. The devil is there to teach you a lesson. I am here because if you believe in good, then you have to believe in evil. And I am here next to you, and it's you holding on to me. I am not holding on to you. I have no power, but you are holding on to me, so that if you let go, you can see the light. And the hermit and the devil they have exchanged places in this reading, because normally you associate the light with the hermit and dark with the devil, but in this reading it's the opposite. So it's your choice. Something is within you that you are holding on to, and you are doing harm to yourself. You are doing harm to yourself. That is the lesson of this devil card for you. The High Priestess is the destroyer in this reading, and the destroyer is that what needs to be removed for you to move forward? What do you have to leave behind you for you to move forward in this life? Is it something to deal with your sexuality, your passion, your cordiality? What is it? What is it you have to leave behind? Have you been too secretive? Have you been keeping things to yourself? And the moon is the graha associated with this card, and the moon is water, emotion, Cancer. And right now in Cancer we have Mercury and Sun. So through your speech or non-speech, you have not been saying or saying things that you are not supposed to be saying. So that if it is concealment, and I rather believe or want to lean on that aspect, because we have the Hermit and Pluto, and Baba 6. So probably you need to speak out more. You need to understand that it's not a life and death situation. The divine law is here. The veil restricting your secrets needs to be lifted, and you have to give birth to a new era. You have to give birth to something new, and the pillars behind you tells you it's Boak and Wakim, and that is mercy and severity. So that those two pillars on either side of you may give you the answer. So help yourself so that you can help others. Pentacles holds the position of sustainer in this reading, and sustainer is what helps you maintain a balanced life, and it's usually associated with Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu can be found in the Shravana Nakshatra, where retrograde Saturn is now sitting in Capricorn. But the Queen of Pentacles also tells you that, you have worked hard. You are going to get your rewards now. You have the resources that you need or that you require. Hold on to it. Do everything to hold on to it. Keep that faith. And actually, the graha of this card is Saturn, and Saturn is Capricorn, its cardinal earth. It is grounded, it is resources, it is stability. So that through discipline and production, through discipline and hard work, you have gained the material resources that you require. You don't need to hold on to the devil. You don't need to have that influence in your life. You have done the hard work. You don't need to keep secrets anymore. You have done the hard work, and you have the resources that will sustain you and give you a balanced life. You know, you have the purity of heart and mind, so that abundance have come to you. This is what the cards are telling you. Is it abundance for the asuras, or is it abundance for the gurus? Because remember too, Jupiter is opposing Venus and Mars in um, Leo for this week, and Venus is the guru of the asuras, while Jupiter is the guru of the devas. So that, what are the resources have you accumulated? What are the resources that you have accumulated, and how? This is what the Queen of Pentacles wants you to look at, and obviously there are consequences to your retention or dispersion of wealth. And is it wealth in emotions, wealth in assets, wealth in family? What is going to be the consequences for you? The Five of Swords in the position of creator has you contemplating what drives you, and what drives you after a battle. You have kept all the weapons there. Is it that you are keeping it for safety, or you are keeping it out of greed? What are you celebrating or contemplating? Have you left the battle with the weapons, or have you left your um, friends from the battle, or your allies from the battle without weapons? What is it that drives you or gives you that creation in a new direction? What is the enlightenment that you are looking for as you sit there and contemplate? The Five of Swords are there with you, but you are not holding it. So did you bring it for a reason? Are you antisocial? Do you feel overcome by personal challenges? Is it that you want the destruction of others, or are you standing up for yourself? Why did you take those weapons? Is it for your safety or for the safety of others? Is that your service to them for this week in terms of the Bava 6? That you are taking away the weapons so that they won't harm themselves or that they won't harm you? What is it that drives you for this week? Pages in a reading is usually about messages, whether they come to you or you send them or you take them. That is what the pages denote. And the Page of Swords is usually somebody in training, somebody who needs, more experience. But this Page of Swords is telling you in this reading that you have the experience, that you have the qualification, that you have all that is required for you to sit in place and cope with everyday life. God has given you whatever you require at whatever time, and he's always there. So he's given you the resources at the right time to do the right thing, and you have those with you that no one can take from you, because you are holding the sword in an upright position, which is usually victory. You are looking behind you, that you have left those persons behind who do not want you to be successful or victorious, but you are walking forward. Even though you are looking back, you are walking forward with your hand upraised, with the sword in your hand, showing that you have achieved the training and the necessary experience to sustain yourself, to cope with everyday life. This is the message of the Page of Swords. The Two of Pentacles in this reading explores your emotions. And what is your emotions about? Your emotions about money and your financial situation. How are you going to double it, or how are you going to keep it? And this is what the Two of Pentacles it's telling you, in that, do I invest or do I not invest? The financial mood and stress that you encounter from thinking about money and thinking about this material resources is what will hold you for this week. That money is on your mind, and the graha of this card is Saturn. And we have gone through the Queen of Pentacles, who told us that you have worked hard. Abundance is there. The money is there for you. Don't fret about it. Don't think too much about it. You have made good investments. You have been very stringent with your material decisions, with your financial investments. The money that has been coming to you, you have utilized it wisely, and you have the resources. The Queen of Pentacles told you that that is what you have to sustain. Remember, the Queen of Pentacles was in the sustainer position in this tetractys spread, so that don't let the money issues bother you. That change, that transformation, that regeneration that Pluto wants to bring to you for this month, it is coming. But Saturn has dealt with it, and this is a card of Saturn again. Pentacles deal with earth, with Saturn, with resources. And if you have put in the hard work and you have the resources, it's going to stay with you. It's going to stay with you. People may want to take it away from you, but if you have done the hard work, the rewards are yours. The Two of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles tells you that. Eight of Swords tells us that we are still blinded, even though we want to strategize and we want to analyze about our goals, that we are blinded by our fear, by our overthinking, by our holding on to things that really we're not supposed to be holding on to. Yes, we are bound, but it's loose. We are bounded by our own emotions, our own fears, our own cowardice, and we need to look at what is in front of us. Take out the blindfold. And I recall the Eight of Swords coming up in a previous reading for July, and it tells us, what is behind you is behind you. Yes, learn from it. Look back and build a foundation on the lessons you have learned. But take out the blindfold and see that the path in front of you is clear. That the path in front of you has been lighted by the messages of God, and the path in front of you is smooth. You have been through the rough waters, you have been through the rough parts of it, and this is the end now. Yes, it's coming to an end. Pluto is bringing it to an end. Saturn may bring it to an end, but you have the resources to sustain you forward. You have the experience to take you in a new direction. The Eight of Swords should not be giving you all these worries and binding you and holding you back. Queen of Swords sits in the fire position, in the fire of creativity and our force, our will, our ambition. And our ambition is to be logical and to have the facts and to find the funny side of the situation, to keep a clear head and don't let emotions get in the way. And remember, the element this week is emotions, water, so that water, we need to have it flowing so that we can feel and we can empathize and have sympathy with others, but we don't need it to overwhelm us. We need to lean on our experience, we need to lean on our resources to understand that the beauties and the love and the harmony of Venus, which is the graha of this card, that we can have all of those, or that we do have all of those, but we are overthinking. We are not thinking rationally, and we need to do that. We need to wise up to what is around us and don't let ourselves be fooled. We have gotten to the heart of the matter, and the heart of the matter may very well be our emotions. Rein it in a little bit, pull it in a little bit, and control it, because you are rational. You have the sword there that you have dealt with your enemies. You have the double-edged sword that gives you the um, constructive criticism, that you own your space. You have the dove of peace sitting on your shoulder. That the messages there are ones of comfort and joy and happiness. The messages from God means that you need to rely on your hard work, your discipline. Saturn is the lord of karma. What does he say for you? He doesn't have an aspect on you right now, but not a full aspect, but he does aspect you, because I always believe that when you're looking forward, there is also peripheral um, vision, and that vision will give you some kind of aspect on it, so that Saturn is there. And as I've said before, if you've done the hard work, if you've done the discipline, and you will get the rewards, and you have that with you. The Queen of Swords is there, so that protect your privacy, be independent, but understand that the fire, the will, the ambition that brought you here is what you will retain. No one can take that from you. We come to the wrap up again, and the alignment of the tarot with the Kundali. And I like to indicate to you that Moon here is the Atmakaraka for this week. And the Atmakaraka, remember that's what your soul desires, and probably your soul desires mental peace this week. But again, Jupiter fully aspects Venus, so that the Asuras and the Devas are in opposition for this week, and that is where the chaos in your mind will be. Is it a good decision? Is it a bad decision? So that moon, the Atmakaraka, may not realize its desires for this week, or it may, depending on your conclusion and the goal of your kundali in your life for this week. And the Amatya Karaka is Saturn in retrograde position. So that how are you going to get that mental peace? Through hard work. Through hard work with Saturn, and the discipline. But remember, Pluto has played a part in your reading for this week, and Pluto is sitting there with Saturn. You know, Pluto is there in Capricorn, giving a shade to Saturn and influencing Saturn in terms of transformation. But Saturn is in his own home. So who is stronger for you? In your natal chart, who is the stronger planet for you? Those things are important when you analyze the strength and the power of a planet. So that you need to look at how the planet will behave in a sign. So how does Pluto behave in Capricorn? How does the god of the underworld behave in the house of discipline and hard work, where you don't have an obsession, where you work, where your view is to look forward through your own efforts? He would not be very comfortable. So that at the end of the day, what is the destruction or obsession that he's going to bring to this house? What is Capricorn house for you? What is this Bava for you? And those are the things I just want you to keep in mind, because the cards have thrown some light on it. And the cards tells us, let us look at our lives for this week and the decisions that we're making and what we have. And don't let the end of something be a stressor or bring weariness to your mind. Understand what you have done and that actions have consequences, be those actions good or bad. And karma is something that you cannot deflect. Karma is something that you must go through, and sometimes your ancestors leave things that are unfinished that you have to pay for in this life. So do you have any doshas in your kundali or birth chart that you need to understand and need to be spiritual about? So these are the things I need you to look at for this week, and I urge you to request your report so that we can move forward. I can help you as best as I can through the messages that are being sent. With Bhagwan's blessings, I have been able to upload and complete another message to you. I thank you once again and ask that you subscribe, you sign up, you share, so that the word can get out there and that we can grow. I really appreciate your viewing. I really appreciate the time that you have spent with me, and I hope and wish for all the best for you in this time of COVID. I hope that you and your family are safe and healthy, and that you will continue to be safe and healthy. Thank you so much for sticking with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.